So here we are in my 2016 Caravan, and that's what the wipers do now. So I'm assuming wiper motor or wiper gearbox, full blast, turn them off, still there. And when I go, so they're not moving. So this is how you change the wiper motor. The wiper motor is right under here. You gotta take this little clip out. It's one of these clips right here. So you get a screwdriver underneath, you just pry it up, slides out, pops out. Then you have to take these caps off. There's a little slot right there. So you just get a little screwdriver underneath that, pop that cap up, and then there's a 15 mil nut in there. So we're gonna do both of those. Take both of those off. These two clips, and then this whole panel comes off, and you can see wiper motors right there. So let's get that done. There we have the nuts off, and now we gotta pull the wipers off and get this cowl out of the way. So this is the smallest puller I have, and it managed to work, except for it's way too big, and I don't think it's gonna go onto this side because there's no room. I'll see what I could do, but this one worked for this side anyways. So maybe I can take this whole piece here, just move it down here, getting access to the motor. Try that. So I can't pull it down because that's too big. So if I can jam it up here enough. There we go. There's the motor. So let's get that thing out and get the new one in. Well, after some looking around and a beer or two, I discovered that we have to take this whole unit right here out, and there's a little bolt just under there. That little guy right there looks like a 10 mil. That's the only thing holding the whole steering assembly in. But I gotta try to get this off. It'll make it a lot easier. So what I'm thinking of doing is just leaving this nut on, putting big ass, probably a vice grip or something on there, and squeezing it, see if I can pop that arm up, because it's on like a tapered spline shaft like that. So if I can just break it loose, we're good to go. And here's the new motor. So there's the 3 fasteners on the bottom, plus that nut on another shaft. But that's all underneath here, so we have to get this whole assembly out, and it just unbolts from there, tips up, and comes out. So we'll do that right now. So here we are a day later now, and I didn't have any way to get the wiper blades off, so I went and got some of my pullers, tie rod pullers, so hopefully we can get the wiper blade off with this. So let's try it right now. All right, no job's complete without a beer. But anyway, so we have a 15 mil there. Real tight. Get that guy off. Trying to drop it down. Put it right there for now. Get the puller out. Put the puller on here. It's kind of a two-handed job. Doing it with one hand, it's no fun. Right. Okay, now let's try to break this guy free. See, it doesn't break nothing. It's working. Come on, let go. There's a lot of force there. There we go. Either the wiper broke. Let's see. I think we're free. Something broke. Wasn't my tool. No, maybe it didn't come loose yet. Let's try again. Tighten her up more. Oh no, it's loose. Okay. So the tie rod puller did work. So now, let's pop that arm off. Oh, it's still super tight. It's like corroded on real good. I'll put the puller on here and try to jack it off that way. Oh my God. There we go. Okay. So we got the arm off. Now that the arm's off, we can pull all this cowling off here. So let's get that out of the way, this out of the way, all this stuff out of the way here without breaking too much of it. Grab you. Throw that aside. And now, only thing holding it on is this 10 mil right here. So we'll take that 10 mil out. It looks like a 10. Maybe it's, let's hope it's a 10 anyways. That's bolted down to the frame, and then this all pivots out. Okay, so let's crack this guy loose. It's loose, really loose. I'll probably just do it with my hand. Now the whole wiper arm assembly should come out. It has a hole with the motor attached and the wiring. And we gotta disconnect the wires to the motor. And that should be it. Okay, so there we go. I'll slide this guy up out of that hole and then back out of there. On the bottom, I'm trying to lose this. There's that little clip. So I think you gotta pop this through that way, like that. And there we go. So that's disconnected. Then we're gonna need a Torx driver here to pull these 3 bolts out of the motor. The motor will come free. Swap the motor over, reinstall. Let's get to that right now. So now I got my T30 Torx for these 3 bolts here that hold the motor on. So let's buzz those out real quick. Now the motor is free, but we still need to bust this guy off, and I think that's a 15 as well. We'll have to take a look. Where's my 15 gone? I have to move the linkages out of the way quick here too. It's not gonna. Hold on a second. So it turns out that this nut is a 13 mil. So you just crack that guy loose, and then with those T30, 3 T30 bolts out, motor's out now. Just gotta put the new one in, reverse the process, reinstall, reconnect it, and then we should have wipers again. Let's get to that right now. It's a super simple job, but we still need to take a little break for a sip. Makes this work worth it. So let's get back to it. So after getting it all reinstalled and back in the car, it still didn't work. Turns out this piece here is all corroded into that bushing and it wouldn't allow it to turn. So I'm going to take emery cloth, clean that hole out, take emery cloth, clean up this shaft, put a bunch of grease on it, looks like it's brass, and I'll put it back together and we should be back in action with the old motor again. I didn't need the new motor, so let's return that and get her back in action. So I've got it all polished up now, but you can see there's some pitting in there. So water must have got in and it's a little bit pitted. So what I'm gonna do is just grease up the hole, put it back together, we'll reinstall it and we'll see how good it works now. All right, it's all back together. Everything moves freely again. So reinstall it, put the motor back in, and off to the races. Everything's back reinstalled. Those 2 little clips are back on. Bolts and caps are on. I just tightened them up really snug. I don't know if there's a Torx spec. It's all good. But it was just that one side, this side here was all seized up in the bushing. So let's see if it works now. Okay, so let's see if they work now. Let's see if they work now. Perfect, back in action. So that was the problem. Now we got that solved. We're all done. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.